Well, the worst chair.
Welcome everybody back to 90 Plus Podcast. You already know stoppage time doesn't run out. Hot takes are gonna keep on coming. We got the whole squad today here, and let's get right into it. So last time we left off, where me and David were talking about the Champions League games that happened on Tuesday. So that was up to Real Madrid's day. We didn't get to cover Wednesday or Thursday, so why don't we start there? Wednesday. So we had Bayern beating Chelsea 3-1, Liverpool beating Atletico 3-2, PSG trashed Atalanta 4-0, and yeah, that was Wednesday. And then Thursday we had Barca 2-1 Newcastle, Club Bruges demolished Monaco 4-1, Frankfurt ran through Galatasaray 5-1, and then City took the victory over Napoli 2-0. So starting with Wednesday's matches, let's go with the Bayern Chelsea. Did you guys get time to see that? See the goals? What did you think about any quick takeaways from that? Let's start there.
I think just one thing on my mind going into this game, well, how the game ended 3-1. We said Bayern beating Chelsea. I think it goes way back to when we were talking about the Club World Cup and saying that there was like teams missing that, currently were doing very well, like Liverpool, Barca, Bayern wasn't there either.
Yeah.
And I mean the champions, Chelsea, that won the Club World Cup. It just goes to show, I guess, that, your takes were, because I think you both said that, especially trying to argue for Barca that they were missing. I think it was right. There are a lot of teams that didn't go to that tournament, and it goes to show, I guess the legitimate of the tournament when we're missing these teams that are competing at a high level like Bayern, Liverpool, and for Bayern to beat Chelsea 3-1, that was interesting to see for sure.
Yeah. I also think it talks about like what we've been talking about with Chelsea, that like they really need to establish themselves, and I think they needed a big game, kind of like they needed to win a big game like this to make sure that people start taking them legit. Because realistically, like, yeah, you're Club World Cup champions and that means something, but like we said, it's kind of like an asterisk next to it because of these other teams not missing, right? And then Bayern's always going to perform in the big stages for the most part. So that was my takeaway from that. So I'm like, Chelsea just continues to struggle. Like, we need them to be more consistent, to really, not saying that people won't take them as a threat, but kind of to give them the flowers that they truly want.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say that when Chelsea has their days, they could be really dangerous. But now that we're in the Champions League and it's not that Club World Cup format, now we're seeing like teams actually face different teams for different countries that had different tactics. So it's like the first time that you see them, and then you get to see like how other teams struggle. Obviously, like when you see Chelsea in the Premier League, they know like how the other team plays, they know the tactics of the coaches and stuff like that. Now, like teams like Chelsea are walking into a whole different team. Like Bayern is just going to be attacking. They have so much attacking power that they're relentless. They're not going to slow down, and that's something that Chelsea hasn't experienced. I would say PSG is like that too, but just Bayern is also different tactics. So like they weren't ready for that. And then that's also like something I noticed. Like in the Champions League, is all the games are high scoring. It's never like 1-0. 0-0, like you saw 5-1, 4-1.
I mean, there was a couple games that ended up 0-0. Just didn't cover them because they were like like the lower teams, but for the most part,
yeah. I think like after the first day, there were like 20 something goals scored in the like first, like I'm like, wow, that's a lot. And you're thinking like, oh, maybe like 10 teams are playing, like no, only 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say something too. It's been a rough week for Chelsea. They lost against Bayern 3-1.
And then they lost against United.
They lost against United.
Was that yesterday or today?
That was yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah.
And then on top of that, their goalkeeper Sanchez red carded against Man U, and Cole Palmer subbed off. 20th minute with an injury. I think it was like a groin injury. So tough week for Chelsea for sure. Losing your best player. I mean, Palmer's their best player,
but they also had like 10 other like quality players in the bench.
But not Palmer though.
I think the problem which goes back to like the problem with Chelsea, right? Like they always have like 40 different. Have you seen the video of them training at their like training ground? Dude, this is like from last year. There's a video of them training at their training ground facilities, and they had so many players like at their gym that it's literally like lines behind each of the stations to get your reps in. And I just thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, not like Palmer. I agree with David on that one.
Yeah, there's no one that compares, that can really take his spot on Chelsea. So if he's injured, like I don't know. We might see Chelsea not doing
Have a
so
little
well.
dip in performance.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't help their case with what we were saying about the consistency, and we'll definitely get into the United game a little bit further along. But yeah, all right. So Bayern Chelsea, quick one. Liverpool Atletico. On Wednesday, Tuesday, when we were talking after the Madrid game, I had mentioned the stat about how Liverpool had 4 of their last games all decided with a for the late time winner, like over the 80th minute or something like that.
Yeah.
This makes it 5 now, so 3-2. Atletico's woes continue. Yeah, dude, they just can't seem to find their form. I don't know if there is a form to be found, as such since the preseason. And then Liverpool, obviously, like always waiting for the late heroics.
Winner,
Yeah. Luckily, Van Dijk was there for that. Well, what were your guys' thoughts on that? I don't know if you guys caught the game or not.
Yeah, no, I saw it, and I was once I saw that Liverpool went up 2-0, I'm like, oh, they're gonna win this comfortably. Like, Atletico plays better when they're like defensive, not
Yeah.
offensive. But Llorente, he put on a performance. He scores the first one. The second one was an absolute banger. That's when you saw Atletico wanting the win. They didn't want to settle for like just 1 point. They wanted those 3 points. And then Liverpool, of course, like I feel like those last 10 minutes is when they're most dangerous, when they're behind a wall, because they're like, we want to get this outcome and we're gonna go forward. We're gonna do everything we can.
Yeah.
I do gotta say that that's kind of like, I do like it when teams are able to do that, but like if you're always doing that every game, is like to the point where like, are you like just getting lucky, or like your team is just knows how to perform in the last like 5-10 minutes?
Which
I
is
don't know
funny
how to
because
say
it's
that.
exactly what me and David were like. The exact question that you're placing, is it luck or is it kind of the other way that you could see it is like, they did have a lot of summer signings, and like, is it like their bench and their depth of squad comes in the later minutes, and that's what helps you push forward. But yeah, I mean, Cholo Simeone lost his mind. He got a red card also in the last minute, right? And
He was
then
arguing with like a fan too
yeah,
at one point.
and then his whole argument afterwards, if I'm not wrong, in the press conference, he was saying that like, oh, they scream whatever they want, we just have to take it. Like, that's not right. But it's like, dude, you're getting paid millions of dollars. Like, shut your
Right.
mouth and just lose
Yeah.
with some respect. Like, not to say that you shouldn't be able to say anything back or whatever. I do think some rules are a little bit flimsy, but come on, dude. This person's paying to come watch you. Like, that's kind of part of the show. Or what do you guys
Right.
think about that?
No, I think I agree. You're right. I would like to know what the fan said though.
Mhm.
Like, I guess it depends how bad it was, but because I could understand, I don't know, like again, depending what he said, how heated he could have gotten, but you're right. Like you're making all this money to also, I mean, apart from making the money and having to take it, like you're also a role model to like
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
fans and everything. Like you should just be the bigger person. But again, also depends what was said.
Yeah. At the end of the day, like there should never be a situation where a fan is just able to openly like say anything that's like, could be seen as racist or just hateful or anything like that. Um, but if you're a coach, like you understand that you're in a higher position where like what you say carry more than the
Mm-hmm.
fan does. So like you gotta be careful with that. I do gotta say that we do see him that he gets like really inspirational like that and stuff like that. But it could also be that like there's been a lot in his mind. Like he's had like what, 4 straight, like not 4 straight, but like 4 draws. This season he has literally, I think they have 6 points, which is like for day 5 is just I feel like maybe that's also getting to him. So like just anything that's like could set him off at this point. And I'm not sure if like Atlético is gonna continue like having him as a coach.
Yeah.
I feel like because he's been there for such a long time, like they're gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
I feel like the fans also love him so much. I saw in the Liverpool game they showed a fan that had Simeone's
Simeone,
face
yeah.
tatted on his chest. I was like, that's insane.
I mean, realistically, he's been the face of the club for like the longest, so I kind of understand why. And now even like his son, Julie Simeone, like he's kind of taking. I saw a meme about like how Simeone made like his perfect player and his son, like the type of player that plays exactly for him.
He's a really good player though, his son.
Yeah, he's great. Don't get me wrong, but
I did want to say I think that game was a lot closer than I thought it was gonna be. I thought Liverpool was gonna win like especially after winning in the first 6 minutes 2-0. I thought they were gonna
Yeah.
win 4-0 or something, but
That
I
was gonna be
mean,
comfortable.
yeah. I mean, even going into the game before they were winning 2-0, we talked about how we said Liverpool's most likely gonna win because just the way Atletico has been performing. And you're right, they have 6 points. They in La Liga they've lost 1 and tied 3. So yeah, going into that game, I thought they were gonna
Which,
get destroyed.
yeah, I agree. I kind of thought that it was going to be a little bit more lopsided score, but at the same time, Atletico is one of those teams that, like, if you're going to bet, don't bet on Atletico, whether it's win, lose, tie, because they're like a break buster in that sense, you know? Um, I I know that they like to kind of play back and play on that counter, so it's hard to see a team scoring a lot past them. I think even scoring 3 past them is a
Yeah.
lot. I guess I was more surprised that Atletico themselves were able to get 2 up on the board, you know?
Sure.
Not saying that they lack attacking
But they
prowess.
are more of a defensive team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I tried looking with the power of the internet what the fan said, and he did get interviewed, but his answer was pretty ambiguous. He did say though that apparently Simeone and his staff spit on him, and that wasn't talked about. They asked him if the comments were either racist or if they talk about the Falklands, and he said that none of that was mentioned, and if Simeone preferred to leave it that way, that he would too, but that perhaps UEFA should look into investigating his behavior. Yeah, which, I mean, if you're spitting on a fan, come on, bro. Like, what are we doing here, you know?
Yeah, like to get to that point again. Like if it was something racist, like I mean, there should definitely be like no room for racism in football. But yeah, to go and like spit on the fans' faces is crazy.
Wait, but hold on. Quick question. Never mind.
Look-at find it crazy that the fans were so close to like
Yeah, it's like the
benches and
benches.
stuff. I'm
Yeah,
like, they're like eye level essentially.
Dude, it's like the benches in England. I don't know if you've seen those, but like, even if you look at Old Trafford or whatever, the benches are integrated as part of like.
oh, it's like part of the like
yeah.
where the
I would
subs
hate
and stuff?
that.
Yeah.
As a professional soccer player, I would hate that. Imagine that you're like literally just trying to focus on something, and you got some dude talking rubbish in your ear for like the whole game. I guess they are more respectful over there than they are here in like the US, where like
You never know. Like each group has their own like kind of fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, but I'm just saying like,
You know what though? I'm pretty sure they're smart about it. And like, I mean, if you have the Man U bench, I don't think you're gonna put the rival fans by their bench. It's probably just Man U fans all around. So, but you're right. Still, either way, like,
right, but like playing away, that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
So, for
yeah.
example, if you go to Old Trafford and you're playing away, the Man U fans are surrounding you, and you're like,
it could be a tactic too.
yeah,
And that's not Man U, but like
for sure.
Yeah, clearly.
Well, I mean, this week they did get that win, but we'll get to it in a minute. So yeah, that's what Liverpool, PSG, Atalanta. I didn't expect the 4-0 scoreline. I did expect PSG to win. They were without Due and without Dembele, so I guess most people were kind of wondering like whether they were going to be performing till they did. They showed that there's nothing in their way so far.
Yeah, Barcola, I think, right? He had a brace that game.
Yep.
he missed a penalty though. Like I had a hat trick.
Yeah, I think you're right. In like the beginning of the game, he missed a pen, but
100%. But if you're winning 4-0, then like obviously that penalty is not gonna be like, oh, it was crucial and stuff like that.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I remember actually. I do remember the penalty because it was soft, and even the commentators were like, "Oh, that was his first penalty and probably his last for PSG."
Yeah. I was surprised.
Well, because usually
He didn't score that game. Yeah, no, Barcola didn't. It was. I think
it was Marquinhos, Kvaratskhelia, Mendes, and Gonzalo Ramos.
Yeah, no, he didn't score that game, but he did miss that pen, right?
Yeah.
Which usually Dembele would have been
The one to take it.
the one to take. Yeah, I think it's just interesting that their last Champions League game was obviously the final against Inter. They won 5-0. Now they won 4-0 in their game after. Are we gonna see a 3-0 afterwards? Who do they play next?
Barcelona, so no.
Oh yeah, no, that's not how. I thought Barca was later. Oh no, yeah. Because there's no Champions League this.
It's
midweek.
Europa League.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I love that, but anyhow.
I mean, I don't know. I was happy 3 days in a row of just Champions League. Like,
I like that.
yeah.
I just don't like well, I don't know. I don't know how I feel yet. I feel like I want to get through the full season, and then I'll be able to tell like whether I like the format or I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because, so for example, I was gonna say like, oh, I don't want to go like a whole week without watching my team or whatever. But then I was seeing after today's Barca game that they do play again on like Thursday.
Mhm.
They just play for La Liga, right? So it's I guess you still have that midweek match, so that's nice.
Yeah. It's just also like you don't want to overwork the players so early, like in the year.
Yeah. So then over that, we move on to Thursday. We had Club Bruges 4-1 on Monaco. I think surprising, but not. You know, Club Bruges has been playing well in the Champions League for some time now. Some people would even consider them dark horses at certain stages. Monaco is kind of in a rebuild phase, so I don't really blame them. I think they're still trying to find their football, and I don't know if that football is completely there.
Safati score. That's the only plus side.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not caught up on Ansu anymore. Like, I think
that was your next Messi.
nah, there's no next. You know what? I even love Lamine, but I don't think there is a next Messi. Like, I think Messi's Messi, and
I don't know. I'm just going off what Barca fans were calling him.
yeah.
I was saying he was good. I still follow him. I do think he has
I think Fabio's
Yeah, I
still
feel
good.
bad for him.
Yeah.
I did want him to go because what he did, he went to Brighton, was doing good, and then he went back to Barca and then was sold. I
thought he was on loan.
He was on loan for Brighton.
Yeah.
No, I thought he was on loan for Monaco. I didn't know it was.
No, I think they just sold him because they're like, yeah, he ain't it.
I do think they saw him because he already saw that like he wasn't gonna be getting that much playing time in Barcelona. And then the other thing is like I feel like he pulled a Neymar. He just kept getting injured to the point where like Barca just couldn't play him because he wasn't like consistent.
Oh no, you're right. He went on loan for
season long loan.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're hoping that he or he's
they
able
loan
to
him to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they're hoping that he finds enough of a form so that they're able to sell him eventually, which I can't blame him for. And honestly, like, good. You know what? I hope he scores 20 goals, but realistically, I don't think he fits into our system anymore. Unfortunately for him. Yeah. So that was quick with Bruges and Monaco. Frankfurt 5-1 against Galatasaray. I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, I mean, granted, granted that they didn't have Osimhen, Galatasaray, but I mean, they, regardless of they have.
But I think their struggles were defensively, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, to lose 5-1, no, I was not expecting that scoreline at all. I thought it was going to be more even. And I think they were up winning at first. Galatasaray scored the first one. It was 1-0, and then Frankfurt just
stepped on the gas pedal.
Yeah.
Gas pedal. Yep. Afterwards, we have City 2-0 against Napoli. I think we got robbed of a good game there. It could have been a lot of better game. The problem was that Di Lorenzo made like a really stupid tackle on Haaland.
Oh, to get the red?
Yeah. And it's like, brings me to a question that I wanted to ask. So last week, me and David were discussing, would you rather have an own goal or would you rather get subbed off at the 45 minute, right? Fabio, what's your answer to that? Let's start there.
Let me think about it. It depends on what's happening in the game. Like, if it's an own goal.
Okay. So not thinking of like the game, like what's going on in the game, but just in general, like for you as a player, like mentally, and like I guess if you think like, damn, what's gonna mentally hurt you more, like to think like, damn, I'm shit, is getting subbed off or scoring an own goal.
I mean,
or we could both give your answers, and then maybe that'll help you like make up.
Yeah.
I mean, I will personally say getting subbed off because, like, if you're doing an own goal, it's not. There's literally times where there's nothing you could do. The ball just hits
exactly,
and you're like, "Damn, I was just at the wrong
rebounds." And yeah, exactly.
The way that I said it, I would rather get subbed off at the 45 minute because that doesn't precisely mean that we're getting scored. Whereas if you score an own goal, it means that
okay, but you know what?
Right. David's argument was that you could be winning like 5-0, you could go back or whatever, which is true. All I'm saying is that like I would prefer not to affect my team negatively the best way that I could. So that's the way that
right, but that's what you're thinking still like team wise. I'm again thinking more so like what's gonna individually.
You're selfish. I'm a team player.
But like just like like I'm saying mentally as a player, what's gonna affect you more?
Yeah, I mean, you guys talked about this last time. So
no, and you know what? That was good that you brought it up because someone actually commented. So thank you to whoever commented. I think it was like on TikTok. They said, I would definitely rather score an own goal because you still have the opportunity to redeem
Dude,
yourself in
yeah,
the
yeah, I
game
saw
and
that.
score like a hat trick if
Dude,
you had to.
so-
Versus like if you get
Hold
subbed
on,
off,
hold
you're
on.
subbed off. That's it, bro.
Somebody else, whoever commented this was made my week. Somebody had a comment that's like, "Nah, stop me off, coach. I had too many takis and a couple beers or something like that." Like,
I think it's just that.
I saw it. I thought it was really funny. But brings me to the question. I guess looking at the situation, right, and I could give you a very specific example. Di Lorenzo with Haaland.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have made a tactical foul, or would you have let Haaland go through on goal? Because in one way, you let Haaland go through on goal, he's more likely than not going to score, right? It's Haaland. But on the other side, it's like if you go down a player, even if Haaland doesn't score there, it's like the amount of pressure that City's going to put on you. Could you really hold them to 0?
I think tactically it made more sense not to foul him. I
Yeah.
mean, it's so early on in the game. What minute did he get the red
It
at?
was like minute.
something.
No. It was like within the first 10 minutes, I believe.
Oh, really?
No way.
Dude.
But
I mean, it does, but like also at the same time, like you're in the moment.
yeah,
You think that I'm like, if I foul him, it's not gonna be like a harsh foul or anything like that. And then like sometimes, damn, it was harder than it looked.
Oh no, you're right. 21st. Sorry about that. 21st minute.
Yeah, it just depends on the moment. Also depends how the ref sees it. Like there's times where like you're thinking the player's gonna get a red and then they only get a yellow. There's times where like you think the player's gonna get a yellow and then like it goes straight to a red. Every game is a little bit different. I do feel like it did affect them. I did want to see KDB play at the Etihad stadium again and stuff. Napoli was just they're a great team last year, and I just want to see how they will perform against another great team from another league. Sadly, when you go down a man, all the odds are against you.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like we got robbed of what could have been a great game. And because the moment that you saw that red card, I didn't expect Napoli, like, with all due respect, I didn't expect Napoli to put much of a fight rather than to go defensively and just see if they were able to hold on against City, which was why I asked the question. And I would agree with David in I think what would have made the most sense is let Haaland through. Yeah, maybe you're a goal down, but you still got full power to go back up and chase it. So the worst that could happen is you're chasing a 1 goal. Whereas if you go a man down, probably the worst that happens is you're trying.
Especially so early on.
Yeah.
But I think if you saw the foul, I think he really thought he was going to get the ball. Because he was really close.
Yeah.
So I think he really thought he was getting the ball. But yeah, I mean, speaking tactically, I mean, there was no... You should have just let him keep running through. Yeah. Maybe he won't even have scored. I mean, you never know.
Yeah. He should let him through. And then finally we closed off Thursday. Rashford comes back to England. Barcelona beats Newcastle 2-1 with
Rashford revived.
Yeah, phenomenal performance by Rashford. So he had the first goal, center from Koundé, header, beautifully placed. I honestly wasn't even expecting that. When the ball went in, I don't know why I thought he was going to get bodied off of it or something, so I didn't really... And when it went in, my serious reaction was like, oh, wow, that's a goal. Like, nice. We're up, right?
Nice.
But then the second one was a banger. Absolutely. Took my breath away. And then Newcastle respond like later on. I can't remember exactly what minute, but it was like 70 to 80th minute, right?
No, 98th.
Oh, yeah, like right at the end.
Yeah, I know it was like super... I know it was late. I didn't remember how late it was.
90th minute because then people were like, "Ooh, is Newcastle gonna be able to like save a point, tie it up and stuff like that?" But Barcelona, it was just a different story. And then here's where it comes where I'm saying that different leagues play with different tactics. I'm not sure if you guys saw like some of the commentary towards the end where they were saying like Newcastle is a very, very like
respected.
Not respected, but like they play really aggressive with the ball. Like they'll pull pressure on you and stuff like that. And like the midfield for Newcastle is really like bulky. They're gonna bother you and stuff. And they were saying like, man, we couldn't take the ball away from Pedri and De Jong. Like you literally see like 2 players on Pedri and Pedri just dribbles. Like pass him, I guess a good pass. And then they were like, no matter how much pressure we put them, like they were cool, consistent with the pass and with the pressure. They were able to just, perform well. And they were like, yeah, people in the teams in the Premier League don't play like that. They don't play possession and stuff like that. They play on the counter. So that's what I like. I like seeing those different like playing styles, because then you can actually see like, hey, this team might not perform well in La Liga, but when they play against like a Premier League team, for some reason they play a lot better, and it's just the different tactics.
Yeah, I agree. So specifically, who you were talking about was Paul Scholes. He posted on social media about how Pedri was his new best player. We also had
There was a comment from the
Jack
Gordon.
from who?
Gordon, he was the
Yeah,
one that
yeah,
scored
yeah.
for Newcastle.
Yeah, he got interviewed post match, and that's exactly what we were talking about. And then Jack Grealish too was talking about how Pedri was. Everyone was basically bowing down and
Yeah.
Not bowing down.
making sure people knew who Pedri was. Which is crazy because I got to be 100% honest. When Pedri first came into Barcelona, I didn't really understand the hype. I thought he was good, but I never really saw him as being a differential, like that much of a differential player. As the years went by, he completely won me over, dude. Especially like last season, I still don't understand people who sit down, watch football, like not through TikTok, not through shorts. You just sit down and you take a look at Pedri. Like it makes no sense for me to people that are like, oh, he's not one of the, I'll even say top 3 center mids. For me personally, top 1, that's debatable amongst people. I understand that. But if you really sit down and watch a full football game and you just watch Pedri, you understand how, dude, that's like Iniesta prime region, like absolute class of a player. But I say like, let's not take away too much the spotlight away from Rashford. I kind of want to get back to that.
Right, damn, bro. Glazing Pedri, no one brought him up.
Well,
I did, but
Fabio brought him up,
No,
man. I
you're
wanted
right.
to give Pedri his
But
flowers.
he didn't say to glaze him. He just
No,
brought
I
him
had
up.
to glaze him. I had to make sure my boy knows, man. Point is, we're never beating the allegations on TikTok.
but I don't know. I do have a hot take on Rashford.
Go for it.
He obviously man of the match. He did phenomenal. He got his second goal was crazy. Probably like the best goal we have so far in the Champions League. Obviously, it's the first week, but it was probably like the best one. The goalie had no chance of blocking that. That was 100% going in. I wouldn't say that he still had like his best performance. People are like, "Oh, Prime Rashford is back and stuff." I was like, the first 45 minutes, he was like, there was a couple times where like he seemed like there was times where I'm like, "Oh, Flick is gonna sell him off like anytime soon." But then he's like, he scored his 2 goals and everything, but like,
because he wasn't even playing that good,
He wasn't
right? Until
playing,
he scored the first goal.
He scored the first goal, and then the second one came like soon after, and it was kind of like.
People were just like, "Oh, Prime Rashford is back." I'm like, I don't know. Like the first half, he was a little bit shaky. Second half, he started to like get more out of his shell, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's back. Everyone can have like a really good game. But I don't know. And here's the point where I'm like, I'm interested to see how well like he develops over the next couple days, because obviously like the first couple games he wasn't doing that well. Like he kept getting sub off, or like he'll only get like 20-30 minutes of playing time, and then he wouldn't do like that much for the team. Like you would see him just do a run, but then also like rocket the ball out of like nowhere near the goalie. And I'm like, you can run, but like if you can't shoot, then like
right,
might as well just.
I mean, even then, there was like times where I would see him playing, for Barca, and there was times where he would try to make runs, and he was just like not as fast as he used to be. Which is granted, like I mean, he's not getting younger, but still. But I definitely think he's getting some rhythm, because I mean, in La Liga, he hasn't scored a goal yet, but in his last 3 games, he assisted, then he scored the brace, and then he assisted again today.
Yeah.
So I mean, I definitely think he's getting some form, but yeah, to say Prime Rashford is back is crazy.
I think he also had like 2 shots on target that were like demanding of the goalie. Like the goalie had to like step in to block it, if not it was going in. So,
well, I would want to know what like your guys' idea of Prime Rashford is. Like, I agree. I think modern media nowadays just has a way of hyping players up, and sometimes like you could ghost the entire game, but then score a couple goals, and out of nowhere you're a savior. Which I get. I understand, like, that's what the game's about. You got to score goals. But there's a lot of unsung heroes that go, that really control the game but don't get the goals, and then they don't
Like
get
Pedri?
like Pedri. But they don't get the flowers that they deserve. No, but, like, my point it's that I agree with Fabian. Like, I myself didn't think he was having as great of a performance. I think he ended up having a great performance because of the 2 goals, right? But, like, he didn't start off great. But if you guys want, like, why don't we transition from there to, did you guys want to talk real quickly about the Barca game, and then we'll go through La Liga?
yeah, we could. Today they were playing against Getafe, which is a really they're really tactical. Like they foul, they like I'm not even sure, but I was like, how is the ref letting some of these like fouls like happen? Like Kunde took a beating today. I swear, I'm like, okay, like the referee wouldn't even stop the game. And then there was always towards the end, I feel like he started getting more of a hang of it because then he started like calling the fouls more, even if they weren't as serious, because he was like, "Hey, you guys are fouling too much."
Yeah.
Still, Barcelona gets the W 3-0. Two from Ferran. I think it was a similar situation at Rashford. He had a good game, but there were times where like
Made
you
you
forgot.
question, yeah.
There was times where I forgot he was playing. There was times where I forgot even Lewandowski was playing and stuff like that.
That first goal, though, did you guys see the first goal?
Ferran Torres?
Yeah. So it's Rafinha.
The back heel.
Yeah, perfect pass from Rafinha. Almost back heels it. One touch from Ferran. I almost thought, I was like, oh my God, Olmo might have messed it up. But then when Ferran just bangs in, I was like, oh, what a goal.
Yeah. I think he took his touch was a little too heavy, but he was able to recover the pass.
Yeah, so we had that, and then we had one more from Olmo to close it off. Nothing crazy happens there. Again, just what David had talked. So Rashford, 2 assists, 2 goals in the last 2 weeks.
But we did talk last week too, I think, about just like Ferran Torres and like his inconsistency. But I mean, it goes to show. I'm not saying he has to do something every game, but I mean, I know we can't really compare him to like Haaland, but look at Haaland who does something every game. I'm not saying Ferran Torres
for the longest had at least for like the past few seasons has had kind of the story looming over his head that he goes against big clubs. Like if you see him against big clubs, like,
but
right.
I mean, I guess you could say the same thing about Ferran Torres.
Yeah.
I mean, scoring a brace, and then did he play the Champions League?
Yeah, I think the last big game that you would say he scored on was that
the Clásico.
Yeah,
damn,
that winner.
I mean, that was a while ago still though. But
yeah,
also like Barca sports a lot.
early summer. Yeah, no, for sure. All I'm saying is like, and I've said this before. I feel like if Ferran was in another team, he wouldn't be as shiny because he has a midfield and some wingers that are going to feed him so much that the amount of opportunities that he has, it's like it'd be hard not to score, right? Yeah. And sometimes that's why certain players shine more. And kind of like to David's point, like, yeah, why I admire Haaland a lot more is because Haaland, it's like you could give him out of 10 balls, he's going to score 9. Ferran, out of 10 balls, he's going to score 5 or 6, maybe, like.
Yeah, and one game might not score. Like, I think we were talking about
one game he's going to miss all, and then next game he's going to score all 30.
I think that was the thing, his last game, I think the last La Liga game, I don't know who they played, Villarreal, Valencia. He had one in the beginning where he could have scored, and he missed, like, one-on-one the goal. Yeah. Shoots it and hits post, but then he goes to score a brace. Just like that inconsistency is definitely.
He couldn't score a hat trick, but again, he hit the post.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Would have been nice to see, just for his like attitude. You want him to be positive and whatnot.
I don't think Barca has anyone score a hat trick yet. There's always like just braces, not hat tricks yet.
Well, the ball gets spread, so I don't mind it.
Yeah.
Then we had Atleti. I'll come back to who I want to talk about. We had Atleti who tied again. 1-1 versus Mallorca. Sorloth got a red in the 70th. It's kind of crazy actually that they were down 1-0, then they get the red card, and then afterwards they get the goal. Only 6 points in La Liga so far.
No. I'm showing they scored first. They scored in the 79th minute. It was 0-0. They scored in the 79th minute, and then Mallorca scored in the 85th.
But
I am corrected. Thank you very much for that.
It's because if I don't correct you, they're gonna correct you in the comments.
Yeah, no, thank God. I'd rather be you, man. But
still, to tie, I mean, granted, you're a man down, but still,
also like you're good at defense,
and you got the red card in the 72nd minute. You have what, less than 20 minutes? Let's give it 20 minutes with added time. Like you went 70 minutes with your full team and like couldn't score. Yeah, they scored after the red card in the 79th, but
wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I guess the point that I was trying to make is that
they scored after the red card.
Yeah, that Mallorca score after as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, which is kind of like what Fabio was saying though. Like you're a defensive team. Like there shouldn't be an issue for you to just sit back and
Park the bus.
park the bus control.
After you score, yeah, for sure.
But there's as inconsistent as ever. I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't see this season going well at all for Atletico. I said this from the preseason, and I don't know what has to change. But
The other thing is they miss a penalty too.
Yeah, I was gonna say someone missed a pen. No, Julian Alvarez missed a pen.
Yes. And it's crazy.
I think he needs to go, man. I think I think Atletico should just sell him like on the low to like Barca or something.
Just like you can still sign him for a good amount, bro. You want it?
That's why
Yeah,
I'm like, what?
just because I want him, I don't realistically think that.
I was gonna say like that's crazy because he was good last season.
Dude, I still think he's good this season. I think he's one of the few players that are salvageable from this squad, and one of the few reasons why Atletico isn't making more of a fool of themselves.
Yeah, I'm saying like they should sell him because like he could still make a career out of himself. But like staying with Atletico, that's gonna hurt his chances because I don't see Atletico like winning or even performing.
Yeah,
making it far in like any competition. Yeah, like
I see him being a Griezmann story all over again.
going to Barca and then coming back.
Maybe not the going and coming back, but the whole point of like Griezmann could have had a wonderful career if he would have just chosen his path more clearly.
Yeah.
I do feel like it affected him to go to. If he would have played at Barca at the level that he was playing at Atletico, I have no doubts that he would have done a lot better than he did.
Yeah.
But more than anything, what I'm saying is that like there's a lot of players that sometimes get lost in the sauce with. They just pick wrong, and I think I'm scared for Julian Alvarez because he already got a World Cup title under his belt. He already has a lot.
League, I think, right? Yeah,
with
Man City.
Man City.
Mm-hmm.
So
World Cup.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, sorry.
Copa America. I'm pretty sure he also has a Prem with City. Mm-hmm. So he's a young footballer who already has a lot. And it's like, if you pick the correct team, you could make it far. And I feel like at that level, especially when you had other teams, your best option was either to try to force a move to, and I'm not just saying Barca, but if you're going to go to Spain, I would prefer him, right? But obviously, like, if you're going to force a move to Spain, force it to either Barca or Madrid. Otherwise, force it to another big club in the Prem. Because why? I guess Atletico's a big club, but let's be for real, dude. They're always constantly competing. They're more closely competing to whoever's second and fourth place than they are competing to whoever's first.
I think he would have done good in Italy. I don't know why, but I could see him playing at one of the AC teams. One of the Milan teams, my bad.
I was like AC teams.
Nah. But yeah, I do think that he needs to sit down and think over like what are his options.
His career choices.
Yeah. This season is not going well for Atletico, and I don't think like if they continue like this, it's not even going to be salvageable. Oh, sorry. They're not even going to be able to like save this season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think they're like 11th place in the Liga. I might be wrong. Let me double check.
Right. And granted, I mean, it's not how you start. Like, it is how you finish. Like, there's still a lot left in the season, but to start off so bad, like, I mean, even some of the teams that, like, the team they lost to, wasn't it Alaves? It was like...
Oh, that they lost to? I think it was Alaves, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's like you got to take advantage of these games where you're playing against.
They're in 12th place, 6 points. Now, because of that loss, they're 1 point below Alaves. So, yeah, you do because then... But that's the thing about Atletico, right? Like, they're such terrible form, but then they're going to play Barca Madrid and somehow pull a 1-1 or a 1-0 or something like that.
Yeah, or win or something. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But, yeah, I've obviously, if they continue with this form, Champions League football is going to be way out of their reach. So, we'll see where that
goes. So, I have to say, and then I know you probably have, like, more stuff to add to this, but, like, Real Madrid with 5 wins in a row consecutive. That's actually 6 because they the win in the Champions League. But they're performing this year and they're up to standard. Now I'm not gonna say that all those wins were like deserved. That against I forgot the name of the team, the French team in the Champions League. I think they should have tied. I'm not saying they didn't play bad. I just think like it should have been a tie, but in La Liga, they're performing. They're performing
I
a
think
lot with penalties, so which is the part where a lot of people are like, man, they just keep
But
getting
like
like
they even had,
penalties.
it's like part of the game though. Like even there was a player from.
so I agree. I think penalties is part of the game, and I'm gonna give Real Madrid grace right now because I've said
Okay.
this off camera, but I want to make sure I say it on camera too, so people don't think I'm like biased in that sense.
But you are.
Which is a perfect. I was just about to get to that. So Real Madrid beats Espanyol 2-0. There's obviously more controversy that I want to get into, just like every week. But here's the truth of it. Mbappe's performing lights out. Regardless, his job is to score goals, right?
Yeah.
Whether it's a penalty, it's not for him to decide. Like, that's what I ask of other people. Like, what do you want from them then? Like, respectfully, right? Like, trying to put myself in a Madrid mindset. If I was given the penalty, you're not going to see me complaining on social media. Oh, we were given it. No, like, I take it in,
Yeah.
because the amount of times you've been, like, done over wrongly, like you'd rather have it go your way than not. I think the problem really arises, me and David were talking about this, that when you're a big club, everything that you do is under scrutiny. And the reality of it is the bar for Madrid is so high that if they're not only not winning, but if they're not winning comfortably and playing good football, then everybody's going to talk down on Madrid.
Right.
Not to
Or
say
if they're winning like off of 2 pens, it's
Of
like
their
well,
win-
they,
yeah.
that's how the only way they can win.
And so, but
No, look at this past game. Did you see the goals that were scored?
both of them
I
were
got a
bangers.
question.
Yeah.
Bangers.
Oh, the Militao one was
Militao was better, but
Yeah, but Mbappe was good too.
Mbappe was good.
I was just gonna say it's just crazy how many pens they've got in, and it's just.
But like again, it goes back to like there was a player I forgot from what team, but it was like a Spanish team, and he was saying like it makes sense because they have so many players that dribble. I mean, even Barca has a lot of players that dribble, but like they have so many players that dribble in the box. You know,
I don't know. I think the only thing that just annoys me is that there's a lot of times where I know they just dribble in the box because they want to get the penalty. Because it's to the point where like the slightest contact and it's like you broke their leg.
yeah.
And-
Well, I don't know though, because I
which
think
is-
like the first pen with Marseille, bro, that was a clear pen. Like we were even
yeah.
talking about like why did the defender even try to like stick his foot out
Yeah,
when
the first pen was
Yeah.
clear. I think the second one was and I think the bigger problem that kind of gets overshadowed, and again, me and David talked about this, was sometimes we blame it on a team when realistically we should be blaming it on a bigger corporation. And sometimes like these questions of like corruption or deeper do arise because of that. Because realistically,
not about corruption, but just like inconsistency in the refs.
I do think there's inconsistency, but I feel like in Spain specifically, there's a huge story from both sides. Whenever I talk to Madrid fans, and I have this constant issue with my brother, every time I talk to him about like, so for example, the Mastantuno, which is the other part of, leave it in the comments what do you guys think. I think that was red card. Like high kick, regardless if you win the ball or not, like that's dangerous play. Like it's not about the ball anymore. It's about what you're doing to put other person's, health.
Dude was bleeding.
Yeah.
Like they had to come in and like.
And the fact that VAR didn't even go to check it, like that's disrespectful to say the least.
Right, but then it goes also to Barca where Rafinha should have gotten a second yellow, didn't get sent off, and
so you proved exactly the point that I was about to get to. The problem is that like when there's a play like that, and thank you for doing that, I literally just texted my brother and I'm like, oh, another controversy with Madrid. His response was basically the exact same thing. He sent me a picture of a game like 4 years ago where Balde had a high leg against Mallorca, and then he's like, what about this one? And I'm like, you're going, and David, you just kind of did, not to like point you out or be bogus, but like we're going at it the wrong way. And I feel like Barca fans are the same way. You'll send us something and then we'll be like,
we'll look up something about Madrid that is similar.
When the reality, it's not really about like, I don't care that Barca got it 3 days ago. We could both agree that this shouldn't have sent, and same the other way, right? Like, I don't care that Madrid got it 3 days ago. We should both agree that this shouldn't stand. And the bigger issue is like, why is VAR being so inconsistent?
For sure.
But even bigger than that, inconsistent with certain specific teams. And I'm not saying inconsistent to favor them all the time. Sometimes either of those teams get affected by VAR, but it's going to be on the spotlight because they are such a big club.
I got a question. Was the second goal for the Champions League for Real, was that one sent to VAR or was it just straight to the spot?
I think it was.
He called it on the spot and then it was sent to VAR after VAR review.
But we were just talking about this too. Like there was literally the same, like very similar pen that happened in the Juventus Dortmund game, but nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
Literally, the player from Juventus was sliding, had both hands on the ground, trying to like get up, and then Dortmund player shoots and it hits his hands and pen. But again, that one was probably less of a pen just because he had both hands supporting him to get up. But I don't know.
But no one's
But
gonna
anyway,
say
no
anything
one's
because the
no one's
Madrid
talking
thing
about it like
happened.
we
Yeah,
said because
yeah.
it's not Madrid or Barca or these big clubs that are getting. I mean, not saying Juventus isn't a big club,
Yeah,
or
but not as
Dortmund, but
big.
still,
Yeah.
yeah.
Which is all to say, like, what I would want to propose is going forward in your arguments with your friends, whether you're a Barca fan or Madrid fan, when you're arguing against the other one, rather than being like, but go look at this picture from 1975 about how Barca got this penalty or Madrid got this penalty, just own up to what you're talking about. If you think it's a pen, say it's a pen, take your shirt off and don't be like, okay, I'm saying it with the colors of my shirt. That's what I mean, right? Like, say it.
Like, what do you think? Take off your
I was thinking about it in Spanish, kind of like, take your shirt off in terms of like don't
take
represent
off
your
the-
color.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Stop representing your colors and just represent like the ball knowledge. Do you think it's a pen or not? Because these arguments become ever so. It's like a negative cycle that never ends, right? Like I'm gonna say something, and then you're gonna say something, and it gets tiring.
And it's just like, yeah, no, I get you because when you
'Cause-
texted me the Mazatuma
yeah.
thing, I was like, oh,
Oh.
what about the Negrita stuff?
And then when you texted me, I was like, "Oh, I'm right." And but it's also like this weekend. I just realized I'm
But
like,
it's like just own
bro,
up.
I constantly have that with like my friends. Now I also have that with my brothers, and I'm just kind of like, damn, I wish we would both just be like, and I. On my part too, I'm like, well, I'm not gonna own up because you're not owning up, right? But if we would both just be like, okay, you know what, you're right, but I'm also right, and then just kind of get over.
Yeah.
The refereeing just needs to be more consistent for sure.
I feel like
About
it's a
to
lot
say-
in the Spanish league though.
Mhm.
Like,
It's a big, big problem. Another big problem is like the spending. I don't know if you've seen how.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, was it Betis that said that one of their clubs in Spain basically had to sell a big player to Wolves, and they didn't want to sell him, but they couldn't register them because of how tight the financial regulations are in.
oh, I do remember that because then they were complaining, like, not to bring it up like you said,
The
but like people were
Barca.
complaining because like, oh, well, Barca with Dani
Mhm.
Olmo when they had the whole issue and they were able to register him later
Mhm.
on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that because they were complaining a lot about it.
Which I want to know, what do you guys think about that? Because personally, putting all the Barca and everything aside, I feel like if you're trying to compete to be the best league in the world, and I feel like for a while Spain was,
Mm-hmm.
you kind of have to keep up with modern times. You kind of got to relax a little bit on the financial regulations. Not to say there shouldn't be any financial regulations, but how are you going to tell me that Liverpool has spent over 300 million in one transfer market, and you can't have a club spend that much amount of money over like 10 years? And I get it has to do with the amount of money that you bring in and the amount of
Yeah.
money that you give out, but I feel like there has to be a compromise somewhere in there so that you could keep the level of, I don't know. I guess what that makes me think of is like, have you seen how like the Saudis come and buy like almost like most sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just with money, and like how sometimes it makes them really good like exhibition matches and things like that because they have the money to provide. So that's ultimately what I'm saying with soccer is like, I don't want it to be an exhibition match, but I want it to be like, well, let the cash flow, let them spend, let them do what they need to do to make sure that we keep our league as competitive.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like there's always a story to both sides.
Mm-hmm.
I do gotta say that like the limitation does make it harder for like teams to actually like buy players, make sure the teams are getting better. And then on the other side, it would be like, hey, this is also really good for the smaller teams because that means that it's a little bit more fair for them. Because if it's the Premier League team, like the same 6, 7 clubs are gonna be the ones buying all the players. You're literally gonna have a team of all top talent and stuff like that, and then they're going to be playing some team that like the most expensive players like 20 million, and then you're playing against a team that the value of each player in each position is over like 50, 60.
Yeah.
I would just say that's the fairness part of it. I do think La Liga could do a little bit better of making sure the team are able to spend more money to get more players. Also, they need to improve some of like their things because like I still don't even think they have the ball line technology.
In some stadiums, yeah. Or VAR, like we saw in Vallecas against Rayo Vallecano with Barcelona, like same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, putting a little bit of drama from my club out there. I don't think that it's right for Barcelona to be playing at Johan Gamper Stadium with 6,000 people. Like when you're a club that big, like I feel like La Liga should be able to step in and be like, that should be a fine or that should be something more, because as a Barca fan, I'm saying this because how are you going to have such a big club playing in a 6,000 capacity stadium, right?
The
Like,
tickets were like $800.
really?
Yeah,
I thought the tickets were going out to season pass holders and they were actually cheap. Like if you weren't a season pass holder, it was expensive. But most of the people who were able to get tickets, you had to be a season pass holder with Barcelona, and they were like cheap
But
compared.
tickets that you're able to buy, they were kind of expensive.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's only 6,000 supply and demand, right? But
Yeah.
And then you also got to give some of the tickets to your opposition
sponsors,
and stuff like that.
college.
Yeah.
But Camp Nou's coming along. It looks like Barca will be there in the next few months.
You know what I find annoying? That they're like, I do understand that they're putting a lot of limitation on like Camp Nou. They're like, oh, this is not ready and stuff like that. But then at the same time, like you have other stadiums that don't even like maintain their stadium or like the grass and stuff. Like I forgot which game it was.
It was I think it was the Rayo Vallecano too.
Yeah,
I
and
think-
like you saw the condition of that pitch, and then they even started posting pictures of like the locker rooms, and you're like, wait, like you're regulating all this stuff to like the T, but you're not regulating this. It's like,
But bro, what are they supposed to do? Like, how much money you
hold
think
on.
is Rayo Vallecano making, bro?
Yeah.
well, it's because the president didn't want to spend on the
Dude, so the whole thing with Rayo Vallecano, though, interesting thing that you brought up, it's because they refuse to modernize. That's like the owner just doesn't want. You know, they're the only club, and I think probably all of top flight football that still sells their tickets in person. You can't buy them online, yeah, and you still get like a physical copy. They refuse to modernize, so that is part of their problem. I agree with Fabio that sometimes La Liga worries about the wrong thing, because it's like, dude, worry about the integrity of your players too.
Right.
But to kind of counter that and play devil's advocate a little bit too, you kind of have to worry about the integrity of the fans, right? And so the problem with Barca Stadium is not so much the pitch itself, because the pitch is playable. And like the first few seating areas is playable. The problem is that getting into Camp Nou when there's when it's like basically an open construction site, like you have to have certain things in places so that you don't have a catastrophe. Like, you know, what if a crane tips over? What if a big bag of like material that you're using to build the stadium falls? Like, that's where the issues are really arising.
Yeah,
So I kind of understand, but I agree. Like, I think like if La Liga, if you're gonna police this so heavily, make sure you're also policing for the integrity of the players, right? Because we've seen cases of like bad pitches leading to injuries. We've seen cases of like people sneaking in things that they shouldn't into the stadiums. Obviously, the racist acts that we all condemn against certain players and things like that. So,
yeah.
but
Yeah, but enough talk about Camp Nou. And
enough about La Liga overall. Let's move on to Serie A. Milan put 3 past Udinese. Christian Pulisic put 2 of those. I can't remember who was the third one, but overall good game, I think, for Milan. They needed this. They needed like a big win, because I don't think they were.
Yeah, I think it was away for them. So honestly, I feel like in Europe, any game away is a tough match. So
Yeah.
I mean, you saw it in the Juventus Verona. They tied 1-1. Juventus was undefeated. I mean, they're still undefeated, but they hadn't lost. They hadn't even tied or lost, right, until this game. And Verona was home. So again, going back to how playing away makes a big difference. I'm for the Milan game, I'm a little upset. Not upset, but I wish Jimenez would have done something. He had like a one chance where it was a one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and he shoots it at the goalkeeper.
Jimenez, you mean?
Yeah, what did I say? Raul?
No, you just said Jimenez. I just didn't.
I just said Jimenez. Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they also have like a.
Oh, like another guy that's
Yeah.
Jimenez, right? You're right. Santi. No, yeah, Santi. He had like a one-on-one and shoots it right at the goalie. Then Pulisic comes, Captain America today.
Yeah, I hated their yellow jerseys. I think they're ugly.
Oh yeah, it's ugly.
It's so ugly. But I don't know if you saw too though that it was Pulisic's birthday like 2 days ago.
Oh really?
And yeah, and Santi posted a picture with him, and he's like, "My brother, like, happy birthday," or whatever. They also went to a Drake concert recently to go. So it's kind of funny how like U.S. fans and Mexico fans have like this hate for one.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think Mexico fans truly hate Pulisic, or I don't think U.S. fans really hate Santi, but it's just kind of like, you know, innate. But they're like, oh yeah, my bestie over there.
National games, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then anything else happened in I'm not even gonna lie, I didn't follow the game.
No, that's fine. Serie A, no, that was just 3-0 Udinese, Pulisic 2 goals. Juve 1-1 with Hellas Verona,
They tied.
David said.
Mhm.
Roma beat Lazio 1-0.
2
and
reds in the
yeah,
last 10.
I think it was like literally back-to-back reds. Hold on, let me see if we can find it because it was interesting to say the least. All right, here it is.
Yeah, and in the last like 10ish minutes, the 86th minute and the 97th. Damn. They probably just got heated just because they were losing.
Yeah, I mean that's usually what happens.
Mhm.
Roma has had a decent-ish start. I mean, I think they're one of those teams that have like how many 9 put? Yeah, so it's week 4 today, right?
Yeah.
Week 4 for them. So I have 9 points. They've dropped 3, tied with Napoli, Milan, just above Atalanta and Cremonese. But huge game for Roma. Like these are the games you need to win. They got that done. What else? And then Inter beats Sassuolo 2-1. Kind of just expected, but also like you need to get those games.
Totally off topic though, but I was looking at do you guys like the Barca jersey, the one they used in the Champions League, the like
The orange one?
highlighter pink orange?
Are you talking? Yeah. Go for it.
So when I saw the jersey, I was like, damn, that jersey it's all right. Cause I'm not gonna lie, there's some Barca jerseys that are nice, and I was like, damn, I feel like it would have been better if the colors were inverted or like flipped, like instead of the highlighter, it was like blue, and then like the highlighter more like the Well, Inter Milan, like they're also Nike, and they have like the same kit. They have like the inverted, like that's what they used today, the blue with like the highlighter. And then I was like, damn, never mind. Maybe it doesn't look that nice.
Well, the thing is also like, I feel like almost every team has that because if you see Chelsea, they have the same kit, but for them it's just all black. But it's the same design, like the patterns of it and everything's the same. And I'm just like, Nike is just copy and paste.
Yeah, copy and paste, change the color. Yeah, but I was literally like, damn, then that jersey would look nice if it was inverted or flipped. But
And then here's the other thing, La Liga
I just don't like the
doesn't-
highlighter colors.
that shirt for the Champions League and La Liga are completely different because La Liga is like, no, we don't like the pattern on it. So when Barcelona had to play in La Liga, they had to change
the lettering and the numbering has to be all white
On the back
on
instead of the
back.
blue.
Yeah. So the cool thing about the shirt is that in the back part is blue, so the lettering's orange or like salmon, whatever the color is, and then below it the numbering is blue. On Champions here, I'll show you.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
But hold on, before we move off that, because it was another interesting thing that I saw. If you guys
You can
don't-
show me after, but
If you guys don't follow Footy Headlines, great place to get soccer news about kids, shirt, like everything coming up. But they reported it, and this reminded me, for whatever reason, Inter Milan players don't have like the player version of the training kits that every other Nike
team
squad
does.
has. Yeah, and here's like a picture.
Oh, I did see that. Like,
so you know, oh damn. So you know how like for the professionals, like they have like the aero technology or whatever it's called. So if you look closely, like Barcelona has like the little like stretch mark thingy here. Spurs has it also. But then you look at the internet, they're just like plain. They're not like the ultimate like kit versions. And
sorry, bro. I was all...
and I don't know why that is, but I just thought it was something interesting. I don't know if it's because, well, at the same time though, like
I think I saw a picture of that where they're like, you saw the jersey and it was just full of sweat because like there was no ventilation or anything like that. And it's like, damn, like.
But then apparently, also reported by Footy Headlines, Barcelona players were complaining to Nike about how much the transpiration on the shirt. So that might be a reason for Inter, because after the first few games, they were like sweating so much because like I guess their whatever technology that they use for their shirts wasn't ventilating well enough. So they said that they wanted different shirts. But
damn, that's crazy. But yeah, I mean, Inter won. It was an alright game. Would have expected more, but.
And then if you go into the Premier League, there was an interesting game today. I thought there was gonna be more goals on Arsenal and Man City.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't. I thought it was gonna be an even game because I mean, I thought Man City kind of especially after they beat Man U. We even said this, like I said that they had like, maybe like a fire lit in them after beating Man U, that they were gonna do good in the Champions League, and they did. They beat Napoli, so. But I don't know. Arsenal has also been doing good, so I was expecting a close match. I don't know if I was expecting. I see what you mean.
So you see how it's like different colors.
Yeah.
In La Liga one, both the name and the number have to be white because they don't like the mismatch. It's weird, but sorry for putting you guys.
No, you're good. I thought Arsenal was gonna win it.
Win?
Yeah, like from the beginning, not like watching through halfway through the game or anything like that. I thought that they came in with like the higher chance of winning. Man City scored first. Haaland, again, he's a goal scoring machine. Like, he's dangerous. But then like Arsenal had like more possession and stuff like that.
Oh,
At
yeah.
the end of the day, like having more possession doesn't mean you're gonna win. But like they seem a little bit.
No, it looks like well, besides shots on target, they had 12 shot attempts. Man City had 5. 11 corners. Man City had 2. But again, shots on target, Arsenal had 3. Man City had 3. So at the end of the day, and they had 66 possession, and Man City 33.
Yeah. But it's also like for the first time, Arsenal looked more dangerous than Man City, and like Man City for the past like.
Well, you know what? When I was watching the game, I noticed too that towards the end of the game, like I want to say maybe like the last 20, 30, like the 70th minute, Pep was making a lot of subs to like park the bus. He changed to play with 5 in the back. Then he was playing with 2 holding midfielders. Like he was just going all out to like defend. Which,
well, I think it also like kind of shows the strength of his squad that like he has a lot of danger counterattacking, so that's why he was rooting for.
Yeah,
but you never like you would never see Man City do that.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like that's not really Pep's strategy. His is like possession, and that's yeah. I mean, yeah, he probably was like, I'm just going for the win. I don't care.
Yeah.
But
also, like tying against Arsenal is a lot better.
Yeah, but the thing about parking the bus though, that I hate is, when you park the bus, yes, you're trying to go all out on defense and trying not to get scored on, but it also allows the team to hold so much possession and get a lot more chances, which is why we see that Arsenal had 12 shot attempts because they just had the ball so much.
They did end up scoring like in the 93rd minute. So
maybe Martinelli, bro, I think that's the second time he comes off the bench and scores.
If he would have, all I'm saying is like if he would have played with the ball more, which is crazy that like now that I'm thinking about it, because I know Pep is quoted by saying that like he loves to play with the best form of defense is attack, in the sense that like if you keep possession, if you have the ball, they can't attack you.
Right.
So it's like, why would you cheat your own system, or why would you go against what you say? And then this is what.
Yeah, no, exactly. Because I've always hated parking the bus, because again, you're just allowing the other team to attack and attack and attack, and eventually something's gonna end up in the back of the net.
Yeah, it could be luck or something, but
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I personally, I do think if they would have kept more of a possession play, they would have maybe taken the win.
Yeah.
At the same time, it is Arsenal, so
do we think it was a good outcome for either team? I think I want to say for Arsenal, I feel like just thinking like previously last year, they lost the first time against Man City. Then they played them again and beat them like 5-1, 5-0.
It's a table look for the Premier League.
Well, Liverpool's on top, Arsenal's in second. I'll tell you the exact formation right now, but
it's probably a better outcome for Man City.
Yeah, I think they're so Liverpool 15 points, Arsenal 10, Tottenham 10, Bournemouth 10, Crystal Palace 9, Chelsea 8, Sunderland 8, Fulham 8, City 7. Because they had
City 9th place. I have
7 points.
Oh yeah, 7 points. Yeah.
Because they had just lost 2 games. I think it was good and bad for both of them. It was good for City because if you would have told them beforehand, like they needed some points, and against Arsenal it was big points. But then
you were up 1-0.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. Is like it was bad for Man City because you were up 1-0. Like you could have won the game. But
I'm pretty sure that the City fans, when they left the stadium, it felt more like a defeat than a win.
Yeah,
But
it always feels like that when they score last minute, because you're like, man, you had it, and then you just lost in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, and then let's quickly talk about the United and Chelsea too, because I know we kind of touched into it. So there were 2 red cards, one on each side. There was one on the goalie, and then one on Casemiro.
That Casemiro
Which
one,
was
I was just like, what are you doing?
Confused.
yeah, he already had a yellow in your, and he didn't even have to foul them there.
No,
like,
there was 2 players in the back.
yeah,
So I was like, there's 2 more players that the player needs to go through. You're 1 man up. You're 2 goals up. Why are you like grabbing his shirt? Like
yeah,
realistically, there's no reason why you should have done that. And it's also like it's so weird because it's coming from an experienced player.
yeah. No, we
Like,
were just like with the red card with Carvajal.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
thing. Like, bro, you're losing your head, and it's like
You're supposed to be
you're
the
supposed to
one
be,
leading by
yeah,
example.
the
Yeah.
captain and having all this experience, and you lose your cool or whatever. I don't know.
And then like Chelsea score and like if they would have tied, I feel like a lot of pressure would have been on Casemiro because he
Yeah,
didn't have to do that.
I mean,
I saw a meme about how Robert Sanchez, the goalkeeper, was actually like strategically getting a red card so that way Manchester United can't fire Ruben Amorim and they'll keep like the coach. They'll keep him on Frankfurt.
Nah, they're still gonna fire him. He's doing horrible.
Dude,
I mean,
It's
you never
crazy.
know. He could still
Dude,
change the.
it's also crazy though, like now that when we're talking about Cholo, like it's crazy how some of the United fans like I went underneath like one of their posts the other day and they were talking about how like they're like, oh, we're with you, boss, we believe in you. And I'm like, what has this dude giving you to believe? Like there's
But I feel like you don't get it, bro.
I
You don't
don't.
get it.
Why
I feel like you also haven't given him a chance to actually. I mean, last season he came in and it was just like, I mean, there was a lot he had to fix, bro.
Well, you also
And in
see-
this season, like, yes, he's not starting off good, but like anything can happen still.
I think it's just Man U too, because they
Mhm.
took who was the last coach? I forgot his name.
Ten Hag.
Yeah, it took them a whole year and a couple months for them to get rid of him, and he was doing
Yeah.
that. And then you also have other teams
Because you need to
like-
give him time to adjust. Like I think the Letty situation is totally different, bro. Like you
Mhm,
have
'cause
Simeone
he's
that's been there
had-
for so many years.
I agree.
You
I'm
know?
just saying I just don't think he's giving you anything to be like,
you know.
oh, well, I guess he did get to the Europa League final last year and lost against Spurs, but regardless, like I guess that's still something to.
The other thing is like, what was the team that not Arteta, the other person went to Leverkusen?
Yeah.
In a month and a half, they fired him because they were like, "Yeah, you ain't gonna work out for him." I think that's what Man U needs to do. They need to make some drastic changes because Man U is not.
But I feel like just firing the coach and getting a new one is not changing anything. Like
Yeah.
we've seen him go through so many coaches. It's like
Something more needs to change for sure.
because clearly, like I mean, even before this, he was doing so great with Sporting, like a club that's not
Mhm.
at Man U's level in terms of like fan base and
Well,
like
but at the same time, like maybe that just means that he's cut up for a lower club than like. I think a lot of the times they give some managers that come from lower clubs and perform really well the shot at a big club, and then they do horribly. Why? Because it's a jump at the end of the day. Like you can't just go from someone who's competing for like to get the pressure.
What do you
know?
mean? Sporting was in the Champions League.
Right, but there's different pressure from
Beat
going.
Man
the
City.
league.
There's different pressure from going to like if you beat Man City, you're gonna be held as a hero to like you need to be Man City because that's your closest rival.
Right.
Like there's a responsibility that comes with the shirt. And realistically, I don't think that there's been a coach as of lately for United that has taken. Honestly, I could almost, well, not really since Sir Alex Ferguson, but it's been a while since maybe Mourinho, who's really understood like, hey, this is a big club. There's certain things that you can and can't do, and you can't mess around and find out later on. You know,
Mhm.
you got to be winning.
Right, because I think this game would have definitely gone way differently if Sanchez didn't get that red card in the
Mhm.
beginning, and if Palmer didn't go off injured. Because we've seen Palmer like score so many times for Chelsea, even when they're down.
He turns the
Yeah.
game around.
Yeah,
Although I do want to say that, like, I personally think it's an organization. It's not the coach. It's
yeah,
you.
for sure.
Yeah, no, for
But
sure.
there's also times where, like, the coach, we can't just put all the blame on.
I know. Sometimes the players too, like we've seen players shine outside of United.
But here's the point: like, even if you're playing where you're like your B squad, you should have not lost to like a third division team. And you can't put the blame on like that's all.
I was like, we were talking about when they played
Man
Wrexham.
United.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, even with your B squad, you should not be losing. And it was just, like, it was literally the first game. How are you eliminated in the first round? It's
Yeah, and
like,
that's kind of what I was saying with like there's a responsibility when you put certain shirts on, and some players understand and some
Mhm.
players don't, and that's that. But
Yeah.
let's wrap it up real quick. But I want to wrap up. So the Ballon d'Or finally officially gets revealed tomorrow.
Lots of news already.
Lots of news. So PSG won't be there because Le Classique against Marseille
got postponed
till then, so they won't be there. I just read that Pedri and Lewandowski are also not flying out with Barcelona.
Yep.
Lamine Yamal, who's been injured, is expected to be there. Rafinha is also
20 family members.
No way, for real?
Yeah,
Wait, was that what you were saying? No, that's what you were. Yeah. I heard
Bro
about
thinks
that,
he's
but
gonna win.
I don't know. Did you guys see the little clip that the Ballon d'Or website posted? So they posted.
Oh yeah. But they're making like the engraving.
Yeah, the engraving, and apparently it looked like a case. Everybody was like, "Oh, Mbappe's gonna win it." We obviously have a video. Please go check it out about what we think or who deserves it. But now that the day's here, it happens tomorrow. We'll definitely have a post about it. Point blank, going down the line. Tomorrow, David, the Ballon d'Or goes to just whoever you think.
I mean, we already said it. It's not like...
Yeah, we already said it, though.
Yeah, but it's just like a recap for those who haven't seen the video. Who do you think?
Well, I don't know. Now, though, after what I've seen on social media...
Just who do you think?
Again, based on what I've seen, so it's... I think Rafinha's going to take it, bro.
Okay. Fabio, the Ballon d'Or goes to?
Lamine Yamal, because he's taking 20 family members. Like, he knows he's going to win or something. That's crazy.
He knows he's going to be on the screen, but I don't think he's going to win. I want Rafinha to win, but I still think Ballon is going to take it, and I just think he's going to take it because, like, he has more opportunity.
Damn, but no, isn't it interesting that... Go ahead, I'll let you finish, though, first.
I was just going to say, I think it's Rafinha's going to take it. Were you going to talk about the French?
Yeah, like, PSG's just not going. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like like if he's not going, it's...
I think also did them wrong with, like...
Well, you know what, though? Wait. He's injured, so... Is he even playing for PSG tomorrow? He might be going.
You know what I was saying would be kind of crazy, like depending on what time the time is. If
no,
Dembele
I think they're
up,
about the same time.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. If Dembele ends up winning the Ballon d'Or, it'd be crazy rather than having him go up receiving it. If they just go live from the stadium at halftime and he just comes up with it, that'd be cool, bro. Tell me not. Tell me not.
That would be scripted as Well, they already know. Yeah, they already know.
So they already.
Yeah, but then you also have all these players coming. Like they don't know who won it, and they possibly have a chance. And then...
So the Ballon d'Or organizers.
But I feel like it would be like just crazy to do that because it's like, why would you do it for? Yeah, like why would you do it for him and not like anyone else?
So the Ballon d'Or organizers are France Football. The main guy says that he's the only one that knows who has won it as of now. There's also rumors that there's been a lot of fake
videos.
Not videos. You know how last year got leaked that Vinicius wasn't winning it, and then they give you the exact voting. So there's been a lot of fake voting ballots, like with the totals going around to avoid it, just in case the real one does get leaked. My whole conspiracy time again, was, and I told you guys beforehand, the Ballon d'Or, France Football, is a French award. It's been a while since a French player has last won it. So I would say that if Dembele was gonna win it, they would have done anything they could to make sure that he was there because it's such a prestigious thing for the French specifically. With that being said, I feel like they could have talked to Ligue 1 and be like, hey, is it possible to move the game till tomorrow? Because I guess it got delayed till tomorrow. Like, I'm sure there's some logistical issues, but you've seen it before where games get moved to like the back of the season or something else, right? So I feel like if that was going to be a case, maybe they could have done that. With that being said, I do hope Rafinha wins it, and I think that the K, just to add to the conspiracy, wasn't a K. It was the bottom of the R. I think you could connect that top. I don't know.
Nah, it was a clear K, bro. But I did see who knows? Because like you said, I saw someone post like the points, and Rafinha was at first place. So
I've seen those same points with Dembele, with Vitinha, with Lamine,
and like you said, it could just be fake ones. So
I just think it'd be weird to have a Ballon d'Or not receive. Like that's the most prestigious award, especially if you're injured. Like I would miss the game and go, but we'll see. Anything else that we want to?
Who takes it? No, it's gonna be interesting, especially with all the stuff that came out. And then I didn't know about the Lamine Yamal taking his whole family. Bro's over here with broken back.
But yeah, by the time that this video gets posted, we will know who has won. So please go to our socials.
Well, I feel bad for Mbappe. Like
I don't.
He obviously he will want to go to it, but Real Madrid is not going, so he can't go.
Well, when is he gonna go? He didn't win.
He's not.
Oh yeah, no, but I'm just saying like, well, he is like nominated, but you know he's not gonna win. But like at the same time, I feel like
This year he might. I think if we were to give the Ballon d'Or, like obviously we're not, but if we were to give the Ballon d'Or, just like stop the season right now, Mbappe wins it clearly.
oh yeah,
But if he continues this form and if Madrid could get him some silverware, like easy.
yeah.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
Otherwise, thanks for following along, guys. Keep subscribing, liking, all the good stuff, commenting, even if we'll try to take our time to answer those. We'll let you guys know what ends up happening. And yeah, that's it. This was 90 plus, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah. See you
All right,
guys.
see you next time.
Knocked it over right now.